Hello everyone, this is TSG, aka Skiing Gamer, and welcome to all new episodes of Flip Throughs. This is episode 36, and you should check out all episodes of Flip Throughs on my playlist on my channel. And be sure to check out all new episodes of Flip Throughs along with my other series called Games I've Been Playing series, Season 6, every other Friday on my YouTube channel. So anyway, without further ado, let's get it started. Alright, for this episode right here and all that stuff, at this time we're gonna do a cheat code book and all that stuff. I found it at a thrift store for like $2 and bring back a lot of memories for me and all that other stuff, reading it and all that stuff. I still have one of the pages to this day and all that stuff ripped and all that when I was a teenager and all that. But I found it at a thrift store for $2 and all that stuff. And so we're gonna do a flip throughs of Secret Codes 2008 for consoles and handhelds. It's for the a little bit of sex gen and all that stuff. PS2, Xbox, GameCube, GBA, PSP, and a little bit more of the seventh generation, which is the Xbox 360, PS3, Wii, and DS era and all that stuff. So yeah, it made from Brady Games and all that stuff. You everybody knows that does like strategy guys and all that stuff, and for games and all that stuff. So we got to do a flip through of this one right here and all that stuff. And tell me go what's your fond memories of this cheat code book right here and all that stuff, or other cheat code magazines and books and all of that stuff. Leave a comment below. So anyway, without further ado, let's flip through this cheat code book and all that stuff. So here's the front right here, and here's the back. Here's guys. Here's the table of contents right here. I'm not going through each game and all that stuff. Most of like filler and all that stuff. If I want to show you guys the cheat code, the game and all that stuff, I'll let you show it to you. So here's the table of contents. Alright, here's the GameCube section right here. You see all the list of games right here and all that stuff. Here's an ERB rating and all that stuff to solve the first page and all that. And here's the table of contents. And the start of the first page right here. Here is Donkey Konga and the Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, which is a really credible Hulk game and all that stuff. I have it for the OG Xbox. And Donkey Konga bring back a lot of memories playing on the GameCube with the bongos and all that stuff. So here it is. Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. Here's Mario Golf Toadstool Tour, Mario Tennis, and Mario Superstar Baseball. Here's the Chiefs for Pikmin 2, Shrek Super Slam, and Sims 2 The Pets. And Shrek Super Slam is really good. A Super Smash Bros. Clone and all that stuff. I have it for the OG Xbox as well. And I have Pikmin 2, bring back a lot of memories, play on the GameCube. I have it on Wii too. SpongeBob's Creature from the Krusty Krab, Attack the Great Juju Challenge. Here's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 3, Mutant Nightmare, Tony Hawk America Wasteland, have it on the OG Xbox, Ultimate Spider-Man, and X-Men 2, Rise of Apocalypse. X-Men Legend 2, Mutant of Apocalypse. Rise of the Apocalypse, sorry. Yeah, these cheat code books bring back a lot of memories for me, so. And that's it for the GameCube section. Now here's the Game Boy Advance section. Like I said, I'm not going through each and every game and all that stuff because most of them like filler and all that. But here it is. Here's Castlevania Aria of Sorrow for the Game Boy Advance. Really underrated Castlevania game on the Game Boy Advance. DK King of Swing, DK2 GBA, and Dragon Ball TT Transformation. Final Fantasy 1 and 2 Dawn of Souls. And yeah, most of them are filler titles. River City Ransom EX, basically like a handheld version of River City Ransom on the NES. Street Fighter Alpha 3, and Yoshi's Topsy Turvy, and Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 Tribal Gold Championship Tournament 2005 and 2006. Yeah, that's it for Game Boy fans. Now moving on to which is the peak handheld at the time and all that stuff. That is the Nintendo DS. So here's the table context of those. Yeah, I'm gonna skip through them because most of them are like filler titles. But here's the ones for Dragon Quest Hero Rocket Slime, Field Dimension XYXX, which is a DS launch title, Final Fantasy Fable Chocobo Tales, Kirby Camping Curse, and Metro Prime Pinball. You got new Super Mario Brothers right here, the Nintendogs, which is a launch title, Pat Picks. The rest of it are filler. And here's Yu-Gi-Oh! Nightmare Trouble and Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2007. And that's it for the DS titles. And moving on to the Nintendo Wii, which at the time it was short on library and expanded over the years. So here it is. Nothing special in the Wii section right here and all that other stuff. And the only thing good about it is the cheats for Wii Sports and all that. And here's your cheats for the Wii Virtual Console, which was Wii Virtual Console on WiiWare at the Wii Shop channel at the time and all that stuff. I still have those games on my Wii to this day and all that. So here's your cheats Virtual Console, which is Adventure of Lolo right there. Which nothing special. I'm not gonna go through all of that for the Virtual Console. And that's it for the Wii section. Like moving on to the PS2. Nothing special over here and all that other stuff. So I'm gonna skim through the PS2 section right here. Because most of these games are like sports games or filler games and all that stuff. We don't want to show those. So I'm gonna skim through them. But here's your cheat code for one of my favorite Naruto games of all time as a teenager. That is Naruto Ultimate Ninja 2. Here's your cheat code for One Piece Grand Battle. Back when the 4Kids dub and all that stuff before Funimation. Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Street Fighter Alpha Anthology. Here's more cheat codes from the Street Fighter Alpha Anthology. And that's it for the PS2 section. Now moving on to PS3, which is nothing really special either as well, and all the other stuff. But so I'm skipping through them as well. Here's Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which is a really good RPG co-op game and all that other stuff. I have it on 360. Here is Motorstorm. Yeah, so nothing special for the PS3 section and all that stuff. And now moving on, that's it for the PS3 section. I'm moving on to the PSP, which nothing special right here and all that other stuff, except for Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Tech Force 1 and 2, and Capcom Puzzle World, and all that other stuff, and Dragon Ball Z Shin Budokai as well. So I'm gonna showcase those. Here, Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles on the PSP. And Def Jr. on PSP too. Here's the Sky Avenue of Darkness, Dragon Ball Z Shin Budokai, Final Fantasy Texas, The War of the Lions. And most of them are like filler, filler. The Sega Genesis collection though, on the PS2 and the PSP. And here's the PSP version of X-Men 2 Rise of the Apocalypse. And here's the cheat codes for Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Tag Force 1 and 2. I have the first one on PSP and all that stuff. Like I said, if you see my PSP video from the Game Expo, I used to have the game 20 years ago. So here it is for all the codes for Tag Force 1 and 2. If you want to pause it and want to see the codes and all that, here it is. Alright, that's it for the PSP section right here, and I'm moving on to the OG Xbox. Um, Somewhat decent stuff in here and all this stuff. I'm gonna showcase right here for the Xbox session, the OG Xbox session. Um, First up, we gonna showcase the Xbox version of Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And here's all the Star Wars games: Star Wars Battlefront 2, which is the best Star Wars. The old school Battlefront games are fun compared to the recent ones over the past decade. And Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, Sith of Lords, and Superman Returns, the video game, which I used to have it on PS2 back in the day and all that other stuff. It's really good, the only good Superman game based off the movie. So those are those. Here's Team AT3, Mutant Nightmare, and Tomb Raider Legend. Here's Tony Hawk Project 8, which was a okay Tony Hawk game, but not the best. That is when Tony Hawk game went downhill after American Wasteland, in my opinion. So here it is. Even though I played it as a teenager and all that stuff, not as good as American Wasteland after American Wasteland and all that. Here's X-Men, the official game, X-Men 3, I should say, and then Yu-Gi-Oh! Dawn of Destiny. And that's it for the OG Xbox section. And now moving on to the biggest console of the greatest Xbox console of all time. That is the Xbox 360. And here's the table context of that. Like I said, I'm gonna blaze through it and all the other stuff. So most of it like sports games, filler titles, and all the other stuff. So nothing special right here and all the stuff. If you want to see that, here's M3 and all the other stuff. Here's your cheat code for Castlevania Symphony of the Night, best Castlevania ever made. Here's your cheat code for Marvel Ultimate Alliance on the Xbox 360. And for the last but not least, for the Xbox 360 section, that is the cheat codes of Tom Clancy Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter and Tony Hawk Project 8. Yeah, nothing special for the Xbox 360 section and all that stuff. This is when it was real, 7th gen got real started and all that stuff. When the 6th gen was sorry to like declining and all that stuff. Here's Privy Ground as well, and Transforming the Game, and Virtual Tennis 3. And that's it, you guys, for the flip throughs of Secret Codes 2008 for consoles and handhelds book. So yeah, there is that. So that, guys, for all new episode of flip throughs of Secret Codes 2008 for consoles and handhelds. Tell me a couple below what's your fond memories of this book you had since you were like a teenager or stuff. And tell me below what's your fond memories of cheat code magazines and all the other books that you have when you were younger and all that other stuff. So yeah, so make sure to comment, like, subscribe. If you want to follow up for my upcoming videos, check out my Facebook fan page. The Facebook page will leave the description down below. And I'll see y'all next time with another episode of Flip Throughs. Thank you very much, and goodbye.